Kirby, the lovable, huggable, cute pink puffball of unknown origin. He has been around for a long time, which is surprising knowing how Nintendo treats some of their other IPs. We won't forget F-Zero nor Star Fox. You hear me, Nintendo? We're only giving you some slack because he recently released Metroid Dread. Speaking of new games, the bottomless pink puffball is coming out with a new game in March, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, which gives Kirby a new spin from his usual shtick. Instead of a 2D platformer, we get something more akin to Super Mario Odyssey, a 3D platformer.
Oh my god, stop comparing the games to one another. It's its own game in its own right. It's like comparing Pokemon Legends to Breath of the Wild.
Are you finished bitching? Okay, we can proceed with what I want to talk about. In celebration of the 25th anniversary of the Kirby series, why don't we look at the Dreamland series for the Game Boy? Now I know what you're thinking. Why the Dreamland series and not something like Kirby's Adventure? Well, here's the thing. 1, it's my video. And 2, Kirby Dreamland came out first before Adventures, so it has a right to be showcased. Now, being the Game Boy with its lack of colors, we are presented with a black and white game, so we never know what color Kirby was until the aforementioned Kirby Adventure. Hell, even the box art depicts the puffball as white and not pink. Though funny enough though, in the Japanese box art, Kirby is shown to be pink. Don't know where the disconnect is at, but thankfully it has been remedied in later games. You know, this Kirby game ain't that bad though. Localization's been going pretty well, honestly though. But now we always just gotta take care of the box art though. I mean, let's just put this white puffball on the cover, right, and call it a day. Let's do that, yeah. Put the white puffball on the cover. Let's do that. Another job well done, everybody. Kirby Adventure is selling really well, and Nintendo Japan wants us to localize another game for them though. And this game is called Hoshi no Kabe Yumi no Izumi no Monogatari? Whatever the hell that means. We'll just shorten it up to be Kirby Adventure for brevity's sake. Americans are dumb anyways. Let's do that. Huh? The bastard was pink all along? And we made him white before? What the hell? Why didn't nobody told me about this? Like any game during this time, the story was presented in the instruction manual. Like, what are we? The NES? We don't have enough memory to put a story in the GB RAM. Might as well go to the future for that type of technology. Anyways, I'll just aside, I'm going to read the story verbatim. Come along now and let's enjoy this moment with each other. On a tiny star somewhere far, far away from Earth, there is a very special place known as Dreamland. The Dreamlanders are very happy people who use their magical sparkling stars to play and work among the heavens. That's until one dark night when the gluttonous King DDD and his rotten band of thieves swoop down from the neighboring Mount DDD for a midnight snack in Dreamland. Not only did they steal all their food, but they stole the Dreamlanders' treasure sparkling stars as well. Because the Dreamlanders didn't have the sparkling stars to gather food anymore, they began to get very hungry. Suddenly a spry little boy named Kirby happened along and said, "Don't worry, I'll get your food and your sparkling stars back." With these words, Kirby set off on his quest towards the dreaded Mount DDD. We wish him luck. Simple enough of a story to understand, right? So essentially, King DDD, being the asshole he is, decides to rob Dreamland of their food. Kirby, a little boy, not a pink puffball, is how to retrieve the food. Little boy? Damn, this localization team really did mess things up for people who look into the Kirby lore. Then again, there's no cohesion to the Kirby games anyways. Correct me if I'm wrong though in the comments. Maybe add a hashtag that says Jugs you idiot and explain. So that's pretty much answers the story department. Kirby games are known for their simple stories and their black and white approach to the good guys and bad guys though. That is until you play some of the later games, especially when King DDD is most likely not the bad guy people put him out to be. Even though Kirby remains also suspicious of him, which I don't blame him at all. Take a person's food and you get these hands. So for being the first game in the series, how does it play? Well, I mean, it plays like your typical Kirby game, bar some exceptions. It is a typical 2D platformer. You got your jumps, your floats, and of course, sticking to his name of origin, giving the big ol' suck.
Here it is. He said the thing. He said the thing I wanted him to say. He got the big.
Freaking children I'm dealing with at this damn house. Unlike other Kirby games though, our adorable pink puffball doesn't have his copy abilities, much to our dismay. Younger Kirby fans, look away! This might be traumatic to you since he can't copy. So what are your alternatives to beating enemies? Well, that is a simple solution. Sucking your enemies and spitting it back at them.
Sup, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Hey, yo! Wait a second, that's not what the Kama Sutra says. Oh wait, I'm reading the wrong guidebook. Duh, this is a kid's game, not a horny video to be promoted to the masses. None of that BS in here. This is a Christian-based channel, am I right, Kerbo?
Baya!
In place of such abilities, there are items throughout the stages that help Kirby progress through the stages. The spicy curry gives Kirby fire-breathing abilities, while the mint leaf gives him the power of flight and fire off air puffs. How does a mint leaf make someone fly? Then again, who am I to question the validity of a Kirby game? Kirby can also find the bomb and mic items, which clear off all enemies on screen. Then again, these items only appear in one stage, so they're kind of like pointless to a degree. Though these items become power-ups with the crash ability and the titular mic ability. Although a short game, I mean, my recording for this game on my first playthrough was about 29 minutes. This doesn't include the extra game, but I'll be jumping the gun if I explain what that is. The game consists of 5 levels, with the 5th being a boss and of course the fight against King DDD, each stage having a decent length of 5 to 8 minutes, which now thinking about it was probably made for casual gamers to see the end of the game. Each level has a boss at the end of the stage, with each battle establishing further recurring boss battles to come like the Wispy Woods and Krakow. Also fun fact, Lolo and Lala are in this game. For those who don't know about both of them, they have their own game which was made by HAL Laboratories too. That game is called The Adventures of Lola for the NES, which is more puzzle solving than a platform, which involves Lola or Lala moving objects to complete the level. Both of them pushing blocks is a callback to their games, which shows that HAL didn't forget their roots in some form or fashion. Just thought I would point that out since it's a neat little fact. After going through all 4 stages, which are Green Greens, Castle Lololo, Float Islands, and the Bubbly Clouds, it all culminates to Mount DDD, which of course houses King DDD himself. But before you take him on, you have to go through a boss gauntlet depending on the portrait you enter. Once you enter the portrait, you are given a short version of the stage and then a door that leads to the boss. Once you clear all 4 portraits, you get to find King DDD. And oh my god, look how tiny he looks! I just want to pinch those cheeks of his though. I mean, look at him. He's only a hair bit taller than Kirby. But of course, HAL Laboratories being a bunch of sourpusses, they have to make him a little bit taller than usual though in future games though. Christ, what a bunch of buzzkills they are. DDD ain't no pushover because he has the most HP out of any boss in this game. Though once you know his pattern, it's easy pickings. Once beating him, the finishing blow sends King DDD flying through the ceiling of the castle, once again giving back the food to the denizens of Dreamland. What happens afterwards is determined if you are playing normal mode or extra mode. More on extra mode later. DDD crashes in through the top of the screen, is dazed and confused from the landing. Once recovered, he throws a tantrum after remembering the shellacking Kirby gave to him though. Look up that word, I ain't translating that for you. During this screen, a feature called Extra Mode is introduced, where if you press up, A, and select on the title screen at the same time, you will activate a new adventure. So what does Extra Mode entail? Besides using the same stages, Kirby takes a lot more damage instead of taking 1 bar of damage. He takes 2 instead. Enemies are replaced with more threatening versions of themselves, and bosses get new attacks to add a bit of stress to the game. Yes, that includes DDD, which makes him even faster compared to its previous iteration. Though once you do beat him, DDD comes crashing down again, and now he is dizzy from the crash and eats the floor as a result. Kirby comes over to wake up King DDD, and from what it seems, Kirby flexes on DDD because it makes him cry and hide in embarrassment as a result. Fear Kerbo's gains, I guess. And that is Kirby Dreamland for the Game Boy. Now the next game in the series is Kirby's Adventure for the NES, but we're not going to be tackling this game here in this video. If you can tell by the title here, we're tackling onto Kirby Dreamland 2, which is another game for the Game Boy. Now, from what it seems like, Kirby needs a little bit of help from his friends. That's so obvious foreshadowing for people who are dense like a rock. Like seriously? How can you not tell that was going to be a thing though? Like, are you serious? Well, whatever. Let's move on to the game. Yes, I decided to put the color in this gameplay footage because honestly, seeing black and white kind of strains my eyes. Don't judge me, I'm getting a new prescription soon though. So clearly from the intro of this game, Kirby here has friends to help him with this new adventure. But before I talk about that, let's read off the instruction manual to get the story. My favorite part actually. Can you tell how excited I am from the tone of my voice? No, seriously, I am. Let me clear my throat for this though. Let me, get a little bit of water. There we go. But yeah. Let's get this intro going. Kirby lives in the Rainbow Islands of Dreamland. The rainbows that connect the islands have been stolen by the evil Dark Matter. Dark Matter is taking control of DDD and wants to turn Dreamland into a dark world. With the help of 3 friends, Kirby sets out on his latest quest to save Dreamland. That was actually a lot shorter than I expected though compared to the last game. Don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but let's press on anyways. Now I want to get this out the way though, but compared to the previous Dreamland game, Kirby gets to suck.
He said it again. The maniac really did it.
Why, you little, I should have choked you out instead of lighting you up. I'll kill you. I'll just move this tub of acid right. Oh, is this thing still on? Pretend you never heard that. So yeah, without that out of the way, Kirby can copy his enemies' abilities, so suck to your heart's content. Damn, even without that person, that phrase still sounds dirty. Kinda miss him actually. At least I still haven't broken my no cursing challenge. Also, instead of having 5 worlds being in one level, you have access to 7 different worlds but with different levels inside of said worlds, much like his NES counterpart Kirby's Adventure. Now of course the game still has your boss battles, but that's usually behind the last door of the world. Now as I mentioned before, but I will mention it again, Kirby now has friends to tag along in his journey, with each having their own abilities. First is the hamster Rick, who is able to withstand skating on slippery platforms. The next is the owl Coo, very convenient name if I say so myself. Coo! Coo! I'll stop that. Anyway, since he is larger in size, Coo carries Kirby with his talents that can fly around stages and can withstand stages that have heavy wind. Finally, the last partner you get to use is the sunfish Kind, who specializes in swimming, making water passages easier to traverse. Though he's kinda crappy to use when out of water, which kinda sucks because some of the unlockables in this game rely on him being out of the water, but let's not talk about that just yet. What matters is that each friend can augment Kirby's copy abilities, each animal having a different effect on which copy abilities you have. Like for example, if you have the spark ability with Rick, he will fire off a beam from his mouth, a la the beam ability in the later games. Or how about when you have Cutter with Coo, he can fire off a triad of boomerangs going forward in different directions. Or the hilarious combo of Stone with Kind, where Kirby turns into a stone inside of Kind. Although invincible to attacks, Kind is shown to be in a state of constant pain. At least it ain't a kidney stone, but damn that is cruel and unusual. Now there's a 4th friend you could technically use though, but he only appears when you already have a buddy to begin with though. This gooey thing is called, let me check my notes quickly though, Gooey, yeah, that's his name. How clever. Although his only role is to replenish Kirby's health, he does have a much bigger role in Kirby Dreamland 3 as a friend in that game. But we're currently not talking about Kirby Dreamland 3, so to hell with that for now. Again, this is foreshadowing, like seriously, I gotta make this clear for some of y'all though, because some of y'all don't even pick up cues that it's gonna be foreshadowing or not though. But oh well, I'm just saying it right here, it's foreshadowing, yeah? But anyways, moving on to the next part, replayability. So as me a couple of seconds ago mentioned, there is some form of replayability in this game, in the form of rainbow drops. Although not necessarily a plot MacGuffin, it is necessary to get the true final boss of the game. Found in special rooms require certain abilities in tandem with Kirby's friends to bust open the flooring or wall that prevents you from getting them. Although not necessarily difficult to find, the task to open the way through is arduous to say the very least, requiring convoluted methods to open it. No joke, half of these drops you need Kind to open up the door, and most of the time requires them to be in land rather than water, which in turn makes platforming awkward as hell, and consequentially giving me so much pain and headaches. At one point I thought of using a save just to get to the final boss quickly and put an end to my misery though, but as past videos told you though, I am a masochist.
Why don't you come down here, Falco? All right! Take him down with one shot! Aim for the open spot! It's all coming down to this. Don't go too fast, Falco! Shoot! No!
It's too hot! I can't take it anymore! Ah!
Looking at you, World 6-2, go fudge yourself into the deepest parts of heck. So ditching my sanity aside to collect all these drops, you come against King DDD, who is obviously out of place. I mean, if you didn't pay attention to the plot dump though, he's being controlled by something. Like in the past Kirby games, DDD has somewhat the same attacks. However, after a certain amount of health, he can speed up his attacks and throw explosions to some of his attacks. This messed with my rhythm just a bit, but with a bit of patience he can be taken down. Now this is the part where the rainbow drops come into play, because if you don't have them all, you get thrown in the gulag. I mean, you get a the end screen with a question mark at the end, which tells you that there is more to do in this game. If you do have all 7 rainbow drops, the drops converge towards Kirby as he is rewarded with the rainbow sword. But before you can restore the rainbow bridges within Dreamland, while at the same time, a dark entity comes out of King DDD's dead carcass. He's not actually dead, I'm just kidding. This dark entity is called Dark Matter, which is actually his first appearance in the series. As both Kirby and Dark Matter fly into the skies, they duke it out with each other. Using the rainbow sword to reflect his dark energy orbs, his armor comes off and transforms into his true form. Real Dark Matter as the game calls it. Very creative. Yeah, I know. Shocking. Now you can do the slow, methodical way of killing him though, but since my motivation was at an all-time low, I pulled a page from MandyLeePlays School of Thought and just brute forced my way through. Amanda gives your seal of approval for this method, a first on the channel.
I present thee the trophy of Kirby. He's so cute.
That will probably never appear again.
What do you mean never again?
Oh shit! Cut the feed! Cut the feed! And there goes my no cursing promise, just flushing down the drain like the piece of shit I am. Though it has been proven that cursing does make you sound smarter though. So where was I again? Oh yeah, the ending. With Dark Matter defeated, oh sorry, I meant real Dark Matter, Kirby begins to fall from the sky almost as he gave it his all for this one battle. Don't worry, he's not dying. This is a kid's game after all. As the animal friends along with King Dedede, who is back to normal look at the horizon, Kirby grabs the rainbow sword and flies with it to reform the rainbow roads that were once destroyed because of the real dark matter. And that is pretty much it to the ending of the game. Rule number 1, never expect too much out of an ending from a Kirby game. That's a known fact. Now with that out of the way, I can finally wrap this damn video up. But yeah, both games are good by their own merits still, but Kirby 1 is more appealing towards the casual gamer too, while Kirby Dreamland 2 is more ramped up in difficulty too and is a much more complete game in its own rights. But either way though, that doesn't take away the fact that both games, like I said before, that they're good. But anyways, I give both of these games a Kirby Sucko out of 10. Now with that out of the way, I can finally tackle Dreamland 3. But that requires its own video in its own right though, because holy hell, this game is a lot more annoying than what you think Kirby Dreamland 2 was though. But yeah, stay tuned for my channel so that you can see whatever comes in store for Dreamland 3. But anyways, this is Jug signing off, and see you in the next video. But yeah, take care fam.